to start with saying, let's address the elephant in the room, and that is that cost of living is skyrocketing. We are entering a time where rising costs is on absolutely everybody's mind, and I want to make sure that as people are trying to claw back on their budget, that they know that there are ways to do so in a sustainable way. It's kind of like my whole focus for 2025 is trying to buy less, save money, and always live sustainably. So with this topic on everybody's mind, let's get into 20 ways I am better to the planet while also saving money. One of the best things you can do for the planet and for your wallet is minimize food waste as much as possible. I actually created a series where I talk about ways that I am cutting my grocery budget in half, ways that I am reducing food waste in my kitchen. So if you didn't already know that, maybe hit the subscribe button. I'll also put one of the videos up here if you want to go check it out. Reducing food waste has been said to be the #1 way we can help the planet in our own homes. And stats show that nearly 40% of all food produced gets thrown out in the US. I've seen people say that that is like a restaurant stat or a grocery store stat. No, it's in our homes too. So finding more creative ways to reduce your food waste, like using scraps, creating systems that make sure you get to things before it goes bad, making your meal plans in a way that use up things that go bad first, etc. Watching my series where I do that myself so that we can learn together, share our experiences, is a great way to save money and help the planet. I've made it a habit to talk myself out of buying things. If I didn't consider needing or wanting the thing I'm looking at right now before, chances are I probably don't need it. Chances are I can add it to a wish list. Chances are I can find it secondhand, or I can just wait a little bit longer. So as we enter this era where we are all trying to spend less, making a habit consciously to build the resistance to have instant gratification, to say, I like it, I want it, I bought it, that sort of vibe. Because the less stuff we buy specifically new, the less things we create a demand to be produced new, is better for the planet. And once I've given myself time to think about something, where I've put it on a wish list so that I could like intentionally seek it out, I will always shop secondhand first. And when I say shop secondhand first, I mean with nearly everything. And I've saved money by doing this in a plethora of ways. I couldn't even begin to tell you how much money I've saved doing this, but on things when it comes to like furniture. I recently sold my old bike, and that didn't save me money, but the person who bought it bought the bike for half the price instead of going and buying it new. Shopping secondhand is an incredible way to be kinder to the planet and kinder to our wallets. And I actually cataloged my entire wardrobe digitally, and then I could see exactly how much of my wardrobe was secondhand, and it's over 94%, which I am very proud of. And one of my favorite places to shop secondhand for clothing is the sponsor of today's video, which is ThredUp. Now, if you are not familiar with ThredUp, they are the world's largest online thrift store where you can get hundreds of brands for a fraction of the cost. And I have to tell you, one of the biggest game changers as someone who has been thrifting for over a decade is the ability to sort by size. As someone who is plus size, being able to sort by my size was genuinely life-changing. Not only that, but there are certain colors I like more than others, so I can filter through colors. You can filter by brand, even by sleeve length. If you're looking for sleeve listings for spring and summer, filter by sleeveless. So I wanted to add a few things to my wardrobe for the spring, and y'all, ThredUp did not disappoint. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite things I think I own in my closet, it doesn't look like all that from the front, but from the back, this is an embroidered denim jacket. And if you know me, you know I love embroidery, and denim jackets are absolutely perfect for the springtime. So when I saw this on ThredUp, your girl had to have it. Honestly, I had to have it. ThredUp listed the estimated retail price at around $90, but I swear to you, I have seen denim jackets like this go for 10, 20 times the amount I got them for, and the price I got this for on ThredUp was $26.99. You genuinely cannot beat that. I paired it up with this green skirt, which skirts were what I was looking to add, and this skirt in particular is the color that is my obsession right now. You're gonna see it repeated a lot on me throughout the spring and summer, and the estimated retail cost on this skirt was $29. I got it for just $10.20. And like I said, you will see this color repeated on me because I also made this vest in a similar green tone, and I was looking to add something with it. So I added a very spring appropriate floral skirt. The estimated retail price on this floral skirt was $59, but I got it on ThredUp for $12.30. And to that, I added a leather bucket bag, which has been on my literal wish list, the one that I give my family. It has been on my wish list for, I think, 2 years. So the estimated retail price on this was $60, but I got it for $14. $14.99. And the best part of all of this is that altogether I saved $218 when compared to retail. But I would say a close second is the fact that ThredUp has this little section on every product page for the eco impact, which explains how much you are saving by purchasing things secondhand. And I really love how they focus on ThredUp can be better for your wallet, but also better for the planet. So huge shout out to them. If you are interested in shopping on ThredUp, you can get 50% off of your first purchase on ThredUp plus free shipping with the link at the top of my description and the code that I have on screen. Since moving into this house, we've been calling it our forever home, and so I feel like I'm trying to put roots down. I feel a lot more grounded here than I have in the past, and so I've been trying to invest in quality over quantity. And I think I always thought I was trying to do that, but now before I make a purchase that is something that I could have for like the next 10, 20, 30 years, I take time to really sit down and think about what does quality mean for this given category and this given item. I've been a college student before. I've also had jobs living in Austin where I made below average income for the city. So I know what it was like to buy things that I could afford at the time and then just have to turn around a year later and repurchase them. Small appliances, things like vacuums, obviously poor quality clothing, things like that. And I think it's really messed up. If you know me, you know how much I hate planned obsolescence. I think that entire notion is so messed up. But at this point in my life, I know that if I can just bite the bullet, as they say, and buy the thing that is higher quality so that I don't have to purchase it again a year down the line, that is going to save me money. So that is one thing I do. But after I do that, a big caveat to that is after I do that, I take care of my things. I didn't see this really modeled growing up, and even still now, my parents really don't see the value in taking care of things and upkeeping them. So now I go out of my way to regularly take my knives to get them sharpened at the farmer's market. I take the time to clean my fridge coils so that my fridge lasts longer. I take the time to air dry my clothes so that they last longer and they keep their shape better. And I know that those things take more time, but at the end of the day, they're saving me money, which is I love that. Air drying my clothes is also just another way that I save electricity and I save money. I have an app on my phone that tracks how much energy we use and how much energy we're producing from our solar panels. And throughout the day, I can see when things like my AC kick on, or, well, really, that's really it. We don't use anything else high powered. But when I look at how much energy we're using, I can see those spikes. And boy, does our energy never spike more than when someone in this house uses the dryer. She's not over there, but you know who I'm talking about. And on that note, we save money on energy production because we have solar panels. Now that feels a little bit like cheating because the amount of money we're saving month to month isn't really, how do you say, super real because of the upfront cost of buying solar panels. But over time, as cost of energy goes up and as the initial investment evens out, we will be saving money. But right now, because the money isn't coming out of our pocket for electricity because we paid for the panels up front, it feels like we're saving money, okay? So going back to taking care of my things, I also repair my things. Now, it is really frustrating that paying a professional to repair your items is not oftentimes cheaper than buying a new thing. I think it's really messed up. Again, I hate planned obsolescence, but it's this structure, this system that has really been changed from like our grandparents' time to now, where when our grandparents would buy household appliances, you would be expected that the one that you bought would last a long time and that the brand who made it was responsible for fixing it if something went wrong. That was normal. That is not our normal today, as you know. If we buy a refrigerator and it breaks in 4 years, well, that is to be expected. I've even had professionals come to repair some of my things and tell me it doesn't make sense for me to pay them, that I should just be buying something new. And I hate that. But the caveat here is that if you learn to repair those things yourself, it will save you money. So when things happen in our home, we make it a point to figure out how to fix it. And there are endless resources online. Madison always says that before I became a YouTuber, she didn't know people use YouTube in any other capacity than to look up how to fix things. And the resources are there. So for example, recently we have fixed our KitchenAid. We have fixed a headlight in my car. We replaced some outlets. Like, we've done a lot of work, okay, on our home without having to pay someone else to do it. And repairing your own things is a way of saving money and not having to go and buy something new, which is also less of a footprint on the planet. It's okay to care for your things and learn how to care for them. As a matter of fact, it's not only better for your wallet and the planet, I think it's good for us to learn skills so that we are not dependent on a system that could break and has broken many a times, okay? I'm a big advocate for taking care of your things and also repairing your own things. Another thing I do is bike as much as possible. And sometimes I can see how saying that feels like, is the gas cost of biking versus driving really that big in these scenarios? And maybe not every time. But when I look at my odometer on my e-bike and I can see that I have biked over 1,000 miles, please hold for the bird clock. But yes, my e-bike tracks how many miles I have used it for. And when you really calculate that I have biked over 1,000 miles on it, which means I have saved over 1,000 miles of driving, well, the number in gas there adds up. Not only that, but not putting the miles on my car saves me money in that sense. Not only that, but in case of accident, I'll just say that, insurance premiums, etc., etc. The list goes on ways that biking saves us money and is also better for our health and better for the planet. So it's been something that I've been really privileged to be able to take advantage of, but I do as much as possible. Another thing I think saves me a lot of money compared to other people my age is that most of my entertainment is free. If I'm doing something on the weekend or even on weekday night evenings, it's most likely free. Okay. I'm also sober, so I save money in that way. I'm not paying to go out and drink. That's not where my money goes. And doing free things like going to the park or going for a walk with your friends, or I do a lot of crafting, playing a sport, going to an event that's put on by an organization or your city, volunteering. I think just the things that I do with my free time are usually free. And I think as we enter this time of uncertainty with like money and all those sort of things, finding things that you can enjoy to do with your time that don't cost money. Like, I don't even pay for cable. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't pay for any cable. I don't pay for any streaming services. And yeah, I think as we enter this uncertain time when it comes to finances, finding things that you can do that don't cost money is a good thing. Even if it's just a couple things, giving yourself options that don't cost money to spend your time to do good things. I also keep a really low maintenance beauty routine. I am not constantly looking to add or subtract or what's trending or what's the latest thing. I don't look for the cool smells or the cool formulas, etc., etc. I find things that work well for me and I stick to them. And I kind of shut out all the noise of the rest of it, right? So I have shampoo. I don't even use conditioner. I don't shave. I do buy sunscreen. But if there's a new hot serum on the market, I try to block it out. The perfumes, I don't even listen. I'm not interested. The masks, the mouth tapes, the LED lights, all of the things. I just try not to buy into the latest and greatest thing that they swear is going to change our lives and make us look younger, because we should always be trying to look like we're teenagers. I block it all out. And another small thing that I do is I make sure to open up any product that I am using and get every last bit out of it. Whether that's my moisturizer, my sunscreen, my toothpaste, I make sure to use up everything because I paid for it and I'm about to have to buy some more. So what do you mean? Yeah, I'm gonna get every last bit out of this before I'm done. And I don't buy things that are meant to be thrown away. Have we ever stopped and thought about how wild it is that it is normalized in some sets, especially in the US, to buy things that we are just going to throw away? Paper towels, paper plates, plastic spoons, pads, tampons, less so on the pads and tampons, me being like I don't understand it, but like in general, I don't buy any of those things because you're literally just spending money to throw them away. I use reusable versions for all of those things. Specifically for my cycle, I happen to know the best brand on the market for reusable period underwear. It's called K&S. Someone really cool founded that brand with one of her really good friends. I don't know. I heard you should check them out. Taking ourselves out of this like normalization of doing that, of buying things just to throw them away, such a waste of money, such a waste of resources. We can make reusable versions for those things and save a lot of money. Another thing I did is stop buying gifts out of obligation. I think this is hard for a lot of people. I just refuse to be subjected to the notion of like, if you're throwing a party, I have to get you a gift. If you're getting married, but you've been living together for several years and you obviously have everything you need, you probably don't need a whole new set of dishes because the ones you're using are working just fine. No one in my family expects that for every holiday, every birthday, every Christmas, they're just going to get something. I remove myself from those expectations and it reduces my need to buy things and it saves me money. I keep inventory of all of my things. I have an inventory of everything in my garage. I have been using an app to keep inventory of everything in my kitchen. Sometimes I'm not the best at it. I'm still not completely sold on if it's the best option for me, but I do use it sometimes when I'm trying to meal plan and I'm in bed at night and I'm like, do we have any paprika? I can just check the app and I can know. And I inventoried my entire wardrobe. And the reason that this has saved me money and it's better for the planet is I'm not making purchases of things I already have. Looking for things is anxiety inducing for me, but knowing what I have means that I am not constantly thinking like, do I need to buy another shirt in this color? No, because I can look in the app and see that I have 3 shirts in that color. I need this thing for this house project and I'm not sure if we have it. Well, I just look on the spreadsheet and I know that we do. So yeah, inventorying my things has been really great for me not repurchasing things, and it's already saved me money multiple times. I take full advantage of my free city resources, okay? Everybody knows that libraries are free city resources. You should take advantage of them. But did you know that a lot of cities have rental services? I'm hosting something this weekend for my neighborhood, rent cones for free. They host so many different clinics to help you learn different skills, be it landscaping, water retention. Like they'll give you rain barrels. That's the thing that happens in Austin. I got my will done, like life planning stuff, got my will done for free. My city hosts repair events where you can bring stuff and they will help you repair it, and all kinds of different like entertainment festivals and events and workshops. The amount of resources that many cities and towns have is unlimited, but people don't know about them because the thing that city governments are awful at is promotion, is marketing. But if you go out of your way to do some digging on their websites, on their social media, you can find a lot of great free things, and you should. You should take the time to do it. And one of the things that has been hard for me, but I think has saved me a ton of money, is removing myself from trends. Doing my absolute best to not get sucked into the social media vortex algorithm of being convinced that there are things that I should be buying because other people said so. I've talked about this in some other videos, but there is this like normalization on social media to go online and say, so what bag are we wearing this season? What shoes should I buy for this season? What's the trends coming up? Blah, 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 blah. If the thing you're buying had to be marketed to you, if you had to be told to buy it, if you had to see it in an ad to be interested, you do not need it, and it is a waste of your money. Our needs and even our wants do not have to be marketed to us. We should be able to remove ourselves from all of that stuff to find what we actually like and to like ignore all the noise of the rest. For me, once I learned to quiet that stuff out, I suddenly started spending a lot less money because I wasn't constantly being told what the latest thing I needed to be cool or to be young or etc. was. I just didn't even know about it. So I'm just living my life happy with what makes me happy. And those are just some of the things that I'll be doing over the next few years to save myself money. And if you have any other tips, please leave them in the comments. I personally genuinely need all the tips I can get, and I'm sure that people watching this video feel the same. Let's make the comment section a resource hub, and I might even make a part 2 to this video if you want. Let me know. Also, a huge thank you to today's sponsor, which is ThredUp, which is a way to shop secondhand and save money. So I'll leave a link at the top of the description for you if you want to check it out. And you can use code Shelby50 for 50% off of your first purchase, which is just another way to save money. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye, guys.